Besides accumulating a large amount of money, they are also considered the richest men in the world. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who are the richest men in the world? In this video, you will discover more about the billionaires on the Forbes list of 2025. Elon Musk. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971 in the city of Pretoria, South Africa. From an early age, he showed genius. He taught himself programming at 12 and sold his first game for $500. After attending Queen's University and the University of Pennsylvania, he graduated in physics and economics. In the 90s, he created Zip2, sold for $307 million, and then X.com, which gave rise to PayPal, sold for $1,500 million to eBay. With the profits, he founded SpaceX in 2002, a company that transformed the aerospace industry by launching reusable rockets and collaborating with NASA. He then took charge of Tesla, revolutionizing the automotive sector with high-performance electric cars. Musk also created companies such as Neuralink, The Boring Company, and OpenAI, in addition to acquiring Twitter, rebranded as X. In 2025, he was appointed senior advisor to President Donald Trump and headed the Department of Government Efficiency, a position he held for 130 days. After leaving the government, he came into conflict with Trump and founded the America Party, a political party that promises to give freedom back to Americans. His career is marked by audacity, controversies, grandiose ideas, and unparalleled global influence. It is no wonder that he occupies the top spot on the Forbes Billionaires List of 2025, with a fortune of $342 billion. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in the city of White Plains, New York State. From an early age, he showed remarkable technological skills. While still a teenager, he learned programming from his father and developed games and communication tools. One of his first creations, ZuckNet, connected the computers in his family's home to his father's dental office. While still in high school, he created Synapse Media Player, a software with artificial intelligence that caught the attention of giants like Microsoft and AOL. Zuckerberg entered Harvard University in 2002, where he studied psychology and computer science. It was there that, in 2004, alongside colleagues like Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, he created Facebook. The network started restricted to universities, but grew overwhelmingly, reaching 1 billion users by 2012. The meteoric rise was accompanied by legal disputes with former colleagues and also a transformation. Facebook became Meta Platforms, a conglomerate that also includes Instagram, WhatsApp, and projects in the metaverse and artificial intelligence. Zuckerberg leads Meta as co-chief executive officer and remains the main shareholder. In 2025, his personal fortune surpassed $216 billion. Jeff Bezos. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born on January 12, 1964, in the city of Albuquerque, New Mexico. A dedicated student from an early age, he graduated with distinction in electrical engineering and computer science from Princeton University. After years in the financial market on Wall Street, he decided to leave everything behind to pursue a bold dream, creating a digital bookstore. In 1994, he founded Amazon in his own garage in Seattle. What began with selling books transformed in a few decades into the largest marketplace in the world. Amazon diversified its operations and became a reference in technology, streaming, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing with Amazon Web Services. But Bezos' ambition went beyond retail. In 2000, he created Blue Origin, a space company that aims to make space tourism accessible to everyone. In 2021, he himself embarked on a historic suborbital flight. Bezos also acquired the newspaper The Washington Post and created Bezos Expeditions, his investment vehicle in dozens of innovative companies such as Google, Twitter, Airbnb, and Unity Biotechnology. In 2021, he stepped down as Amazon's CEO to dedicate himself to other initiatives such as space exploration, philanthropy, and combating climate change. In 2025, Jeff Bezos accumulated an estimated fortune of $215 billion. Larry Ellison. Lawrence Joseph Ellison was born on August 17, 1944 in New York City. At just 9 months old, he contracted pneumonia, and his biological mother handed him over to his great-aunt and great-uncle, who raised him in Chicago. He only discovered he was adopted at the age of 12. Showing a talent for science and mathematics, he excelled at the University of Illinois but dropped out after the death of his adoptive mother. He also enrolled in the University of Chicago, but left the course in the first semester. At 25, he moved to Berkeley, California, where he worked at various technology companies, including Ampex. There, he developed a database project for the CIA called Oracle. In 1977, he founded software development labs with his former supervisor Robert Miner, starting what would later become the Oracle Corporation. The company revolutionized the database market and won contracts with the United States Air Force and the CIA itself. In the 80s, Oracle experienced a meteoric rise, doubling its sales annually. However, in 1990, it faced a severe financial crisis. Ellison reacted by replacing his team with experienced managers and focused on product development. The turnaround came with the success of a new version of the Oracle database, which repositioned the company among the largest in the sector. With the e-commerce boom, Oracle consolidated itself as a leader in information management software. In 2025, Larry Ellison has an estimated fortune of $192 billion. Bernard Arnault. Bernard Jean-Étienne Arnault was born on March 5, 1949, in the city of Roubaix-Nord region in France. The son of a family of industrialists, he was mainly raised by his grandmother, who already owned shares in the family businesses. He began his academic education in Lille and later entered the prestigious École Polytechnique in France, where he graduated as an engineer. At 25, he was already the construction director of Ferré-Savinel, the family engineering company. At 29, he took over as the company's president. In 1981, with the arrival of the left to power in France, he moved to the United States, where he sought new businesses, but without great success. It was upon returning to France that he began building his empire in the luxury sector. In 1984, he acquired the Boussac Saint-Frère Group, owner of the iconic Christian Dior brand. From there, he began a strategy centered on prestigious brands, positioning Dior as a symbol of the new phase. In 1989, he became the main shareholder of LVMH, a conglomerate that unites Louis Vuitton, Moet & Chandon, Hennessy, and dozens of other luxury brands. Under his leadership, the group transformed into the largest company in the sector in the world. Arnault also invested in other areas such as retail, even becoming the largest shareholder of Carrefour, and media, with stakes in French newspapers. Currently, he leads the Group Arnault SA, his family's holding company. In 2025, Bernard Arnault and his family hold an estimated fortune of $178 billion. Warren Buffett. Warren Edward Buffett was born on August 30, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska, in the United States. From an early age, he showed an aptitude for business. He sold gum, sodas, and magazines door to door. At 11, he bought his first shares, and in high school, he already had enough capital to buy a small farm. In 1950, he graduated in business administration, and soon after, he earned a master's degree in economics from Columbia University, where he was a student of Benjamin Graham, one of his biggest influences. In the 50s, he founded Buffett Partnership Limited and began applying the principles of value investing, buying shares of undervalued companies. In 1962, he took control of Berkshire Hathaway, initially a textile company, transforming it into a billionaire conglomerate. Through it, he invested in iconic brands such as Coca-Cola, American Express, The Washington Post, and more recently Apple and Nubank. Despite being a billionaire, Buffett lives a modest life. He has lived in the same house since 1958, does not use a personal computer, and drives his own car. Over the years, he has built a reputation based on integrity, long-term vision, and rational decisions, and is a global reference in investments. Furthermore, he is one of the world's greatest philanthropists, having pledged to donate the majority of his fortune through the Giving Pledge initiative alongside Bill Gates. Thus, Warren Buffett holds an estimated fortune of $154 billion. Larry Page. Lawrence Edward Page was born on March 26, 1973, in Lansing, Michigan State. The son of Carl Page, a renowned computer scientist, Larry was introduced to the world of computers in his childhood. By the age of 6, he already showed exceptional curiosity and skills in the area. He studied computer engineering at the University of Michigan and later entered the doctoral program at Stanford University, where his life would change forever. It was at Stanford that he met Sergey Brin. Together, they developed a revolutionary search algorithm and in 1998 founded Google. The company started as a research project and, in a few years, transformed into the main search platform in the world. Page served as CEO until 2001, returning between 2011 and 2015. During this period, he led the transformation of Google into an ecosystem of products, including Android, Chrome, Gmail, and YouTube. In 2015, he founded Alphabet Inc., a holding company created to house Google and its various projects, allowing for greater autonomy and innovation. Page remained as CEO of Alphabet until 2019, when he left the executive position, although he continues as a controlling shareholder and board member. He is also known for investing in health projects, artificial intelligence, and futuristic technologies. Larry Page has an estimated fortune of $144 billion in 2025. Sergey Brin. Sergey Mikhailovich Brin was born on August 21, 1973 in Moscow in the former Soviet Union. The son of Jewish parents, both academics, he immigrated with his family to the United States at the age of 6, fleeing the restrictions imposed on Jews in the USSR. Raised in Maryland, he graduated in computer science and mathematics from the University of Maryland and began his doctorate at Stanford, where he met Larry Page. During their studies, the two created a search engine based on a revolutionary algorithm, PageRank. The project soon became Google, officially founded in 1998 in Susan Wojcicki's garage. Brin led the company's technical development alongside Page and helped transform Google into the most influential company of the internet era. In 2015, they founded Alphabet Inc., a holding company that began to control Google and other innovation companies. Sergey Brin was president of Alphabet until 2019 when he stepped down from executive roles. In addition to Google, Brin was involved in initiatives such as autonomous cars, Google Glass, and projects in artificial intelligence and health. He is also a major investor in Tesla Motors, space adventures, and clean energy technologies. His work goes beyond technology. He also contributes to philanthropic causes, mainly focused on health and immigration, through the Brin Wojcicki Foundation. In 2025, Sergey Brin has an estimated fortune of $138 billion. Amancio Ortega. Amancio Ortega Gaona was born on March 28, 1936, in the small town of Bustongo de Arbas, in the province of León, Spain. Raised in a humble family, Ortega began working at a young age as an assistant in a clothing store in La Coruña. It was during this period that he learned to sew and understood the mechanisms of the retail trade. At 39, he founded Zara, with the bold proposal of offering quality clothing with a modern design at affordable prices, a true revolution in the fashion sector. With the success of Zara, Ortega created Inditex, a holding company that also houses brands such as Massimo Dutti, Pull & Bear, Bershka, Oysho, Stradivarius, and others. Inditex grew meteorically thanks to a business model based on agile production, constant replenishment, and direct control of stores, the so-called fast fashion model. Unlike other magnates, Ortega has always maintained an extremely discreet profile. He rarely gives interviews, avoids public events, and there are very few official images of him. Over the years, Ortega even appeared at the top of the Forbes list as the richest man in the world. Even with market fluctuations and economic crises, his empire remains solid and profitable. He also invests heavily in the real estate market and the hotel industry, especially in Europe and the United States. Amancio Ortega holds an estimated fortune of $124 billion. Steve Ballmer. Stephen Anthony Ballmer was born on March 24, 1956 in Detroit, Michigan State, United States. A graduate in mathematics and economics from Harvard University, he was the roommate of none other than Bill Gates. In 1979, he dropped out of the MBA program at Stanford to become the 30th employee of Microsoft and the first hired for the company's business area. The beginning was modest, but the impact was gigantic. Ballmer grew within Microsoft, leading departments such as sales, operating system development, and operations. In July 1998, he assumed the presidency of the company and, 2 years later, became CEO, replacing Bill Gates. Under his leadership, Microsoft aggressively expanded its product lines and profits, invested heavily in ventures like Xbox, Bing, and Office, and strengthened its presence in the corporate market with Windows Server. Despite criticism for having lost the lead in the smartphone and social media sectors, Ballmer was responsible for doubling Microsoft's revenues during his tenure as CEO. In 2014, he left the command of the company and began to invest in other passions. In August of the same year, he bought the Los Angeles Clippers basketball franchise for $2 billion, becoming the owner of one of the most valuable teams in the NBA. Known for fiery speeches and memorable presentations, Ballmer always showed uncontrollable enthusiasm for technology and business. To this day, he maintains a large stake in Microsoft and remains influential in the global corporate scene. Steve Ballmer has accumulated an estimated fortune of $118 billion. Now that is what I call the most expensive list in the world.
Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel deals to satisfy your curiosity.